A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Welcome in for the first time ever. It is the Braylon Show with Shep. Excited. New faces, new infusion of energy into this same very network that gave us the opportunity. So excited out there. Appreciate you guys for joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of those introductions, I myself, Braylon Edwards, you know me. Just in case you don't, all-time leading receiver at University of Michigan, first-round draft pick in 2005. But I have since moved on from the football. I moved on to the analyst decks and just an exciting fan like yourself. The guy to my left, he is no stranger to this business. He is no stranger to the city of Detroit. He is Matt Sheppard, a.k.a. Shep. Shep, so happy to have you as the co-host.
It is an honor, and it's going to be awesome. I'll tell you what, I've worked with a lot of different people over a lot of different things, whether it be radio, television, and so on and so forth. I don't know if I've ever felt the family atmosphere that we had last night. So in case people were wondering, last night, Braylon opens his home to all of us at this show. Some of us were late. Ricky. Some of us were on time.
Shots fired already.
So
I'm just happy Kool-Aid made
But
it.
we met his entire family.
Yeah.
Beautiful people.
Yeah.
Phenomenal food. Could have stayed there all night.
Yeah. I had some wings before I came here.
Did you take wings home with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate? I go to Braylon Edwards' house and I say, can I have a plate to go? I got stuff there and Ricky's taking it home?
Yeah. No, 100%. Like when you get invited over to a family function, at least one that we put on, we encourage place to go. Because the fact that we invited you means we believe you're a family, or we believe you're good enough to get invited. So we want to send you home with something. You know, this food that you're going to be raving about, the food that you'll be bragging about. If you don't have it, it's kind of like it didn't happen. So we send you home with a plate, man. You get to show your loved ones, significant others, friends, homies, whatever it is. And it's like, yo, no, you're right.
How do I know this after the fact? Ricky tells me after the fact. Braylon tells me after the fact.
I thought everybody
I'm
knew.
telling you, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I think that, so there's a couple different times where I looked around for just a moment. I like to take things in, okay? I looked around for just a moment. Your mom gave a beautiful prayer before we ate.
100%.
And the support for the show in that house is like nothing I've ever felt before.
Yeah.
The other was, I talked with some of your dad's friends, some of your mom's friends. I could hang out with them all night long. I mean,
you met somebody that you really hit it off with, and that was my dad's best friend, a.k.a. Jonas.
Yeah.
And Jonas, he's a big collector of
yeah,
sorts.
Jonas is the real deal. All right. First of all, sharp. Okay. As soon as you meet him,
right.
you shake his hand, firm handshake. Okay, that's first and foremost. Second,
100%.
the way he presents himself, the way he's dressed,
Smooth.
right? Very smooth
To the T.
And he had a really good-looking blue watch on.
Yeah.
And I said to him, Jonas, how many watches you got? And he said, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Did you believe him when he told you?
You know what my guess was? My guess was 30.
Okay. That's an extensive collection.
Yeah.
I think that's a decent collection.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a good watch collection.
Yeah. He said higher.
Oh.
He's got over 200 watches.
Oh, shit.
That's a lot of different ways to tell time, folks.
Yeah.
But you talked about how well he dressed. He has a lot of different flares of outfits, so you're going to need 200 watches to keep up.
It appears that way.
Yeah.
Then I asked him, I really like those shoes, those Cole Haan shoes. And I have a couple of pairs of those.
Okay. Shout out to Cole Haan, makes a comfortable gym shoe.
He's got over 600 pairs of shoes.
That's a lot.
And I said to him, how big's your walk-in closet? He said, the shoes are all over the place.
Definitely got to be the first thing you think about when you hear 600. How much space do you have to house these 600 shoes? You know, I mentioned earlier there are a couple familiar faces, if you would. Shout out to our audio engineer, a.k.a. Mr. Ricky Burns. You remember him from the last show. Bringing him back for this one as well, man. He also was there. Got a little bit of that fellowship. Good times, Rick.
Thank you for having me over. That was a great end to a great day yesterday. I hit the Tigers game, got to come over. I felt like I knew your family. Like, I felt like they knew me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Actually figured out that your girl, her brother, and I went to middle school together, so that was crazy, man. I had a great time. Again, I had the wings before I came here. Even better the second time around.
Yeah, it was so good. I loved seeing your dad there. It was great.
Pops. You guys have worked together.
We have. I've been very fortunate. What I love about him is, and it trickles down to you, the honesty. Okay, he's not going to agree with you. That's okay. Bring it. That's okay. Let's have the debate. That's a fun thing. But your sister was there. Your brother-in-law. A lot of beautiful women walking through. It was awesome. to be there. I will say this. As a white guy, it's a different feel of family and how you welcome everybody in to a black family. I thought I really enjoyed it, is the bottom line. So I really appreciate that. So let's dive into a few things here. You know, I don't know if people have certain things that they love to do. We talked about the watches. We talked about the shoes with Jonas. I don't have that extensive collection. You go into a store. What's the store that you can't leave without something purchased?
The store that I can't leave without. This is gonna sound terrible nowadays. I'm dating myself, but like Carl's Golfland.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's Carl's Golfland. Like not only because I'm whatever you call me as a golfer, not because I love golfing. I love the shoes, the clubs, whatever. I just feel like I have to pick up something.
Yeah.
Like I walk in Carl's Golfland with no agenda, but Shep, there's an agenda. Whenever I walk in there, I'm telling myself, I know I'm leaving here with 3 polos. So I try to look at the sections that have nothing to do with polos. Clubs are over here, shoes are over here.
Don't be
golf
tempted.
Balls right here. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get the polos. Go to the driving range, you know what I'm saying, to extend my time at Carl's Golfland. Yeah. But when I get to that car, there will be an orange bag that says Carl's Golfland, and there will be at least 2 to 3 polos in that bag. Carl's Golfland for me.
Yeah, for me it is it's a men's suit store.
Okay.
If I go into places that has really good looking clothes, it's hard for me to leave without getting something.
Nice suit goes nice with that hair.
Yeah, every once in a while, as long as it's washed. Unless, like when my kids were growing up, they always had this thing going on among them. They said, if you want something new after the game or after practice, make sure Dad takes you in there. Go in with Dad because Dad can't say no.
That's hilarious.
You want a new stick?
There's one going every second.
That's what it is. That's it.
That's hilarious. Mine is the grocery store. Like, I'm bad with the list. You send me in with a list.
Family man.
If it's 5 things on there,
I
I get selfish. If there's 5 things on the list, I'm leaving with 7 or 8. There's always something. I'm like, I'm a sucker for a fair and honest deal. A 10 for 10 or like a 2, or you get like $3 or 2 for 5. I'm in there, bro. You got me. You got me.
You're like a front of the grocery store where they put all the deals like
bro.
the front aisle stuff.
Yes,
they catch you every time.
Yes,
you know you get 5 Gatorades for $5. It's like the big Gatorades. You're like, oh my god, I gotta get them. It's 5.
I gotta get them. I'm a sucker for a fair and honest deal.
You know what Ricky's doing? Ricky's going. He's going shopping
Tonight.
hungry. He's going shopping hungry. You can't go shopping hungry.
Can't.
They count on that, right?
Very true.
They can't wait for that stuff. Well, it's great to have you. It's great to have Kool-Aid. It's great to have everybody involved. Justin is with us.
There
Kenneth, Ryan, Sam, Brady, Easy. Everybody, a big shout out to all of them because they work so hard behind the scenes and they deserve a lot of credit.
Yep. My apologies. I was gonna say before we get this thing rock and roll, just to piggyback off that energy, man. Like there will be a lot of people involved in the show that are going to make this show great. And he just gave you a snapshot and said hi to all of them. There are a lot of people that are gonna make this Braylon Network show. It's my name, but it ain't about me. It's about all of us collectively making this thing work. So no, it's some people helping out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love the gratitude that was felt last night, and we'll feel it all season long. We know the Tigers have hit the break. They're on a 4-game slide. It's their first 4-game losing streak of the season. It's the first time they've been swept at home. I don't think it's a huge deal, but when you have an ERA of above 5 since June 1st out of that bullpen, when they are 30th in the league in swing and miss, I think it's a fair criticism of where this team is right now, even though they got 59 wins and are 11.5 games clear.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the break couldn't come at a better time. The Tigers are backsliding a little bit in terms of their play. I went to the game actually on Friday night. You know, I was excited to go. Scoobs is on the mound. I've been to 3 Scuba starts this year, and I'm waiting for the Scuba magic, and I didn't necessarily see that. Now, no knock to Scuba. Everybody's entitled to a bad night, but just piggyback that's our guy. He had a bad night. The hitting isn't necessarily doing what it's done to get them to 59, the best record in baseball. So I think this All-Star break coming at this time, A.J. Hinch can get these guys back rocking and rolling within a week. But they are fair to criticize right now.
Yeah, see, there's the thing. A trust is a really important word, I think, in sports. I say it to my kids all the time. Trust is an easy thing to lose. It's a really hard thing to gain, right? Your quarterback's threw to you because they trusted you.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. In baseball, I trust A.J. Hinch, Chris Fetter, and their coaching staff, that they're going to fix whatever ails the bullpen right now. I think they've proven that, and they deserve that type of trust from us for right now. Now, how far that goes, that's up to the individual, okay? But as of right now, I think that's a big deal. You may not trust Tommy Canley because of his last 2 outings. Hasn't recorded a flipping out, for God's sakes. But prior to that, he's been pretty good. Good enough for you to say, all right, I don't mind him, right?
All right.
Overall, I think the trust factor has to come from within the coaching staff to fix whatever the problem is with some of those bullpen guys.
It definitely does, and I think you saw that last year. I think we didn't pay attention to what AJ had done before he got to the city of Detroit. Last year, with the run that they went on in terms of getting to the playoffs, a lot of unexperienced talent. Now they're experienced this year. That's where the trust was built, at least for the city of Detroit. You saw what AJ Hinch was able to do with their roster, and then you start the season and you look at it now, and it's, oh, no, this is a continuation. This is who this guy is, Chris Fetter, the best assistant coach in the MLB, in my estimation. He's also a Michigan guy. That doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't hurt. But they've gotten better as a team this season. The pitching, even if you could say it, the pitching, the movement on the pitches has gotten better. Look at Casey Mize now making his first All-Star game, so he's now playing better. The bats, Javi Baez, you can keep going down the list, but the bats have gotten better. The coaching has been phenomenal, so, you distribute that.
Yeah, I think it's more about the power for me. I thought this team desperately needed power in the offseason. I sure didn't think it would come in the form of Gleyber Torres, but I did believe Riley Green had another level, and I did believe Spencer Torkelson would come back. Torkelson and Green each with over 20 bombs on the season. Baez has done a nice job of staying away from the big mistakes that he made a year ago. You mentioned Skubal. Everybody's owed an off game here or there. I think the hard thing for Tigers fans to digest was the fact that you had your 2 all-star pitchers going back-to-back, and both of them lose, and neither one goes deep. It's not like it was a bad loss. I think it was 6-4 for Skubal, 6 innings, 4 earned runs. Mize was less than that and more earned runs. That's a bit of an issue. You're relying on certain people. So we all want to feel comfortable. You played a sport where we spent 5 days critiquing you and your team. Baseball, it's everyday critique after what you had just done. And that's the difference, I think, with football than it is for baseball right now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The two differences, one is in football, you play a game, then you have 7 days essentially to digest the information. Like, the fans can say what they want to say, analysts can say what they want to say, but the player has 7 days to digest. Okay, cool. What happened as a quarterback? Well, I took too long in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? I was staring down receivers. Those led to interceptions. That led to me getting sacked. All right, bet. I can fix this. Then you get that next week to fix it. In baseball, it happens, you got to fix it and keep going. It happens, you got to fix it and keep going. So that's the biggest difference, man. In football, you mess up that game, you got a week to think about it and a week to fix it. And if you don't get it right in that week, now there's another long week or however long that game is. In baseball, you get an opportunity to kind of get it corrected faster.
Yeah.
If I have a bad game, I can go out there next game and hit a home run. People forgot about that bad game. Or if I'm in a slump of 3 games, if I go out there and I go 3 for 5, you know what I'm saying, 2 doubles, okay, cool, it's over. Football, not necessarily so much.
Or in baseball, you can fix it within the game. I mean, if you're a pitcher, you got to fix it within the game. If you don't feel your stuff early on, how long do you and your catcher trust it? How long do you disregard it, right? So if the slider's not breaking the way it's supposed to, if you don't have a feel on the knuckle curve or whatever, the splitter, whatever, Casey Mize throws the splitter. If you don't have a feel for that, when do you ditch it? When do you stick with it and say, I'm going to get it eventually, but how long can I go before I do actually feel that? So I think, baseball, that's why the mental
It's
aspect.
like team versus individual.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, with baseball, I do believe it's considered a team sport, but it's still an individual pitcher against batter. I think that's the reason the mental aspect of the game of baseball is so hard. I think they're all hard, don't get me wrong. But in baseball, because of the failure and the dwelling on such failure on a daily basis and the toughness of getting it back, to regain it. Like, remember when Riley Green earlier this year was going through a slump where he was 1 for 32 with 19 punchies?
100%.
Anybody thought he would have 24 bombs by the All-Star break?
You hope, but you didn't
Anybody think he was going to be an All-Star at all during that time?
Right.
No. Fighting through that is really hard. You can relate, because I'm sure there were plenty of times where you were just not feeling it. How do you get it back? That's the question.
How much of that, too, though, with Riley Green is at the beginning of the year, baseball is a long season. There's 162 games, so how much of that is eventually we got to believe that the guy that we saw last year that we believe is going to be our star. I mean, going into this season, I think Riley Green is the guy that we had pegged to be that all-star, which he is. So I think we were hoping he figures it out. But getting back to that question, it's tough. I remember in 2008, start that season, man, I started dropping passes. I basically didn't play training camp because I got a huge gash right around my Achilles. You could see my Achilles, but it didn't get clipped, so I missed about 3 weeks of making sure that was clean so I didn't catch staph infection. Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. And I started the season off, man, not like myself because I hadn't been around. I hadn't had the timing. I hadn't had that. So here's 1 drop. Here's 2 drop. Here's 3 games of drops. Like now I'm just in my head. It took me a while. It took me 8-9 games to get out of this, my mental, in my head. I had to go back to my old routine. I had to go back to prayer. But really, it takes a while once you get into a slump. And I think once you go back to what got me there, what are the things that I know I can rely on, that's a conversation that Riley Green had after that Houston Astros series. Excuse me, not the Houston series. The Houston Rangers, the Texas Rangers. I remember that series as well.
Yeah.
That's the conversation you have, and I think the assistant coaches help you get there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's where the strength between the years is as much as the strength getting off the line of scrimmage or anything like that. I mean, and the thing about that is we don't know. We as a fan base don't know. We can't. We're not hearing that from you. We don't know that's what's going through your head and how you don't get it back until 8 and 9. Even though you're coming up with 8, 9, 10 rocks in a game, you're still not feeling exactly who you think you should be. It's good stuff, man. Really appreciate that. I do want to get into a little bit about the All-Star game. The home run derby is tonight. I can't stand it, but sometimes I'm a stick in the mud. And I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I just need to evolve. I need to change, and that's okay, too. We will talk about that after this read from Ven Johnson, right?
Justice, man, it means different things to different people. But whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you got a case, contact the fighters at Ven Johnson Law today. Get the justice that you deserve. Look, man, they are tough, they are tenacious, and they are trial lawyers. Trial lawyers, that's the part that I want you to pay attention to because that means that they want all the smoke. I tell you all the time, Ven Johnson is the guy for you. He's a lawyer, and his Johnson is attorney law for you. VenFights.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Big
Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and make sure you click on that shop tab.
It's good looking stuff right there.
Yeah,
good looking gear.
You gotta get you some of that, Shep.
Absolutely. I saw a stick, Sam Day, one of the big wigs here. Saw him rocking something like that. If I could say that word and get away with it.
It's a safe space.
I saw Jesse Dillon walking around with stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, that's management.
Yeah.
That's what management does.
Yeah.
Management grabs the swag,
and
they wear the swag.
Yeah,
this is true.
And they should.
And it looks good doing it.
It does. They look really good doing it, and we should do the same.
We should do the same. We should also see what Justin's got going over there with those super chats.
Yes,
man.
sir. Thank you to our super chatters.
Nice
First
transition.
of Ryan's reactions. So I came back to all NFL second rounders getting guaranteed rookie contract. Bray, what are your thoughts on that?
Ask that question again. My apologies.
So I came back to all NFL second rounders getting fully guaranteed rookie contracts.
Is that a question?
It's a question. Because a lot of them have been able to negotiate that into their new deals.
I would. I like that. I appreciate that. I think a lot of times you look at like Jalen Hurts when he first got a deal. Saying you're talking about a guy that now is $235 million, Super Bowl winner, 2-time Super Bowl. But when he first got his contract, it wasn't guaranteed. It wasn't guaranteed at all.
Can I take that a step further?
Please.
I think NFL players should have guaranteed contracts, period. All right? Now, how long those contracts should be, that's up to the teams and the individuals to negotiate. Think about it.
Yeah.
Every sport has guaranteed deals. The NFL, they pay their guys up front, right? A lot of money up front for you, get the signing bonus. But it's not guaranteed.
No, it's not.
And you play the most violent sport there is. Now, hockey's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Okay? Money's not the same. Should be guaranteed there too. Like the highest paid Red Wings, a little bit more than $8.5 million in Dylan Larkin. Think of how much money, Jason Tatum's going to make in 2 years, $73 million in a year. Okay, so there's a lot of factors involved in that. I'm not saying one is better than the other. Football, literally, you could end your career on the very next play.
And you get to the point where the money is getting up there. You look at the sale of, the Washington Commanders. They sold for $6.5 billion. It's over $6.5 billion. Obviously, Lakers just over $10 billion, but they're one of the most storied brands of all time.
Right.
$6.5 billion for the Commanders. You cannot give me the same excuse that you've been giving for years. Well, there's 61 guys on the team.
Thank
you. We just can't pay everybody. We can't afford it. That's baloney.
That's bull crap.
That's BS, especially with all the monies, all the new sponsorship deals, the TV deals, like the TV deals alone. So I definitely agree with you. It should be guaranteed contracts, and if you have to find a way to do it where maybe 80% of the contract or 75%, a start is a start because there's not guaranteed right now.
Amen.
Yeah, a start is a start.
100%. Think about the big guys. All right, those are my favorite guys. I know everybody likes quarterbacks and wide receivers, with all due respect, and running backs. I love the guys who spit blood in the huddle. All right, because I think that's where your heartbeat is. Those guys are the only guys who play with their back to the football. And they have people running up behind them, on them, while they're engaged with a 300-pound human being.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee there. That's why they all wear those knee braces. I'm surprised on a lot of things. But the leadership of the NFL Players Association, I'm sure they fought for it. I'm sure they've brought it up before. I don't know why they wouldn't take advantage of a period in time where the National Football League has never been more popular and not try to take advantage of that.
Well, where they lose in that battle is because of the overwhelming numbers. So basketball, they're going to take care of their players. Their players are the league. You know, LeBron James, whatever he wants to decide, they're going to follow suit, and everybody's going to get rewarded. That's underneath him, whether it's James Harden, whether it's Jason Tatum, whether it's Anthony Edwards. Baseball, same thing. They may not be as popular as it relates to commercials and other things, but they take care of their players. They have to take care of their players that don't wear helmets. Where it gets tricky with the NFL Alumni Association, the NFLPA, you got like 4 guys that represent the masses. They're getting paid buku bucks. They're getting buku deals, and they're being able to, all right, they're signing the deals. They're the ones that are agreeing to what's going on. And the other players that are way at the other end of the spectrum, they get screwed. So you got the big dogs. It's 4 guys. I remember when I was playing, it was LaDainian, it was Peyton, it was Tom, and maybe one other.
Drew Brees or somebody like that.
And it's Drew. So you got 3 quarterbacks, and you got one random guy. They're the ones making the decisions. They're the ones that are going to be with the owners. They're the ones that are like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do. So now you get those players that are in the middle, or the players that are into the spectrum, especially the pay grade, and they suffer.
I don't get it. I don't get it. You've got the masses, so you've got those big names, but there's plenty of other big names that are part of the mass that feel like what should be done. It's the right thing or the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't understand how it's kind of like a player with an agent. If an agent says, my guy's holding out, that player can tell him what to do. You work for him.
Yeah.
Okay? Those guys work for you guys. Peyton Manning, he's one of them. Brady's one of them. That's one of 54 on one team. I don't understand how that could be allowed. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It just sucks that the guys in the middle, once you have those lockouts and once you have those dumb things, those are the guys that are itching to get back.
Right.
Those are the guys that are itching to, as they say, cross that line to come back, because their money isn't as long as the guys at the top. So they're like, all right, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, it's been a month. I don't know my job security. So you get those guys to be accepting field hands if you want, while the other guys are.
I want you to think about something. The UFL. Anybody watch it?
I watch 100%.
Okay.
Runner up.
Does it move your needle much?
No.
Nah, not really.
You watch it
Outside
'cause
of
it's
the Jake's,
football,
outside
right?
of Jake
I've
Bates
tried it
field
out.
goal,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. If the NFL, if they don't do what the players would want in my scenario, what's their recourse? You think they're going to UFL talent?
No.
To try and entice you and I on a Sunday? You think NFL Network's going, let's go red zone and let's find out this former Birmingham Stallion? The answer to that is a hell no. I don't know why they wouldn't try to take advantage. I'm not trying to say they should hold the NFL hostage. All I'm saying is they should get what they deserve. It's been painful to watch the NFL treat its players the way they have. And I mean a lot of it has to do with their health insurance from way back in the day, too.
Yeah. I think there are certain things that they're getting better at. It still sucks, though, because in 2014, they implemented health care permanently for everyone from 2014 and after.
Think about that.
Guess what year I retired?
2013.
14.
14. Yeah.
Which means I didn't make it to that season.
Bullshit.
Which means I don't get full health care. I mean, they have gotten, but it's things like that that have gotten better, but it's the 13 back down to whatever year that aren't getting it that you're like, all this money that you're making, like, what is the deal that you signed for the Christmas, the Netflix Christmas deal alone? What was that deal?
Right. How do you not recognize this? Do you not feel an obligation to take care of Earl Campbell? Like, I love Earl Campbell. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
My dad blocked for him.
The Tyler Rose, unbelievable player. Ask Isaiah Robertson, who got trucked when he was with the Rams, okay, at the Astrodome. The man can't walk, okay? Mike Webster and the CTE issues he had. One of the finest centers the National Football League has ever had, and the anchor of one of the greatest franchises, at least in that realm, that the league has ever had, when the Steelers won 4 Super Bowls and went 4-0.
Yeah.
Think about it for a minute. How does it make sense that certain players would get full-time health benefits, but a guy like Mean Joe Green wouldn't?
Because
Jack Lambert wouldn't. Makes no sense.
Everything is about now. It's never about the past. And I think in this, in being fully honest, the NFL now, they get it. In terms of these guys that play now, like Justin Jefferson will never have to want for anything. Right. The top 5 guys, the top the top 6 rounds won't have to want for anything now. The deals are done better. The CTE that they pay attention to is done better. The studies, the scientific parts behind it, analytics behind that. Also the deals, they are more favorable deals, and they're letting people know, like, you get 3 years. You get 3 years to get this cash. You know what I'm saying? It's not like 7 years from the
I think
past.
those guys have an obligation.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they have
Yeah.
an obligation to help the men of the past who paved the way for them.
I agree.
Whether it be
Are you talking about
Jackie
the players?
Robinson and Kurt Flood in baseball, I'm talking about players.
Players,
Damn
gotcha.
right. I'm talking about players and the league, but especially players. More needs to be done on their end to say, enough. These guys before us deserve something. Dan Hampton, whomever it may be, okay? Just bringing up names of the past.
Yeah,
That's
I got
all
you.
I'm thinking about. Anything else in that super chat that you want to get to?
More super chats, and they are welcoming you to the network. So from Rando Smalls, we have
Rando.
welcome Mr. Sheppard. So shout out to him, and then welcome aboard Mr. Sheppard from Michael as well. So
Thank you, Michael.
welcoming you to the family.
Yeah, appreciate everything. That's
I
awesome.
love that they said hello to you. They ain't saying anything to me.
That's because you're established.
They ain't saying anything to me. I'm shoplifting now.
You're well
shoplifting
established.
at this point.
You're well established. That's all. They know it's your show. That's all that really matters. All right, we had talked briefly just before the break about the All-Star. I don't like the home run derby, but I don't like the slam dunk competition either. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm not, it's going to be really hard for me to be wowed in a slam dunk competition when I've already watched Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, hell, even Harold Miner, for crying out loud.
Baby Jordan.
Okay, all those things. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard right now when you have a block of 3 hours. That's all. Average time for a baseball game, I think last year was about 2:38 to 2:40.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I saw the Tigers game in an hour and 47 minutes last year.
How about that? Now you've got a home run derby that's going to take 3 hours of TV time. How does that hold you? It doesn't hold me. I can't do it, and I love the game.
Fair to go?
Yeah.
I used to love the home run derby. You're talking about 98, Ken Griffey Jr. won, 97, Ken Griffey Jr. won. You know what 99 was. We will never forget that summer. We'll never forget that year. I like the old school home run derby and what it meant. It wasn't a ton of gimmick to it. Like when I watched the home run, when I started getting out on it, when I was watching Judge, the one he won at Marlins Park, maybe 2016, give or take, whatever. The inconsistency in the rounds and how they do the rounds and how you have to go through this round and then you don't have to do as much this round. But then this guy, Julio Rodriguez, who somehow seemed to find his swing against the Detroit Tigers, he hasn't had it in 3 years. I watched his home run derby because I love Julio Rodriguez. I thought this is a young player that he's going to be one of these ones. And he plays for the Mariners, so I'm a Ken Griffey guy. His swing was completely jacked up from the home run derby. From the time because he had 50 home runs in the first round of the home run derby 3 years ago. Didn't make it to the finals, by the way. So what was the hell the 50 home runs for?
Agreed, yeah.
Messed up his role.
Good point.
Not a Rose Arena, but there was maybe it was a Rose Arena. It messed his swing up for a while. I think with the gimmick and how
Bobby
they
Abreu too.
Bobby Abreu,
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like every time he plays in it, he lessens towards the end of the year, with the exception of last year. So I just think now it's gotten to this gimmick space, and now guys are throwing out their swings, trying to knock it out the park. I think last 20 years ago when they did it, it was more of a rhythm swing. It was more of a real deal. You win, you get in. You're not trying to overswing to get in. Now, I don't like it at all. I'm still going to watch it the first round.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the guy I want to watch, Kyle Riley. He's leading the league. I got a chance to see him hit 2 bombs on Friday. I'll watch him because he's the guy right now. He's the guy leading the MLB, so I'll watch to see what he does. But I'm not staying in it. The NBA slam dunk contest, which you brought up, even though it's horrible now, shout out to Mac McClung, who's winning every year, it seems like, and he's never even set foot on the NBA court in the regular season. Go figure.
Yeah, it's wild.
But with basketball, for some reason, it's still that optimism of Michael Jordan jumping from the free throw line, or what you saw in Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. Them have one of those night for the ages type deals.
Or a Blake Griffin over a Kia.
100%.
Yeah.
Which he dunked over the hood, not the middle part, but I'll let it slide.
All right.
I still have optimism with the dunk contest because any moment you can have a dunk that's like, oh, I can't believe it. The home run derby, I'm not watching 3 hours.
It's too hard for me too, and like I said, I love baseball. Don't get me wrong. I think baseball has more to offer than just what they're offering. And we'll get to that when we come back after a quick read from BlackRock. Braylon Edwards.
They just knocking out all my reads. BlackRock Summer Giveaway starts now. They're dropping prizes every week, and that's 8 weeks. And today is the big reveal. First up, 4 tickets to a Tigers game on August 4th. The number 1 team in the MLB right now. Yes, your Detroit Tigers. You get 4 tickets to a game August 4th. That's a heck of a way to kick off the soon to be fall. And the grand prize, 4 tickets to a big home football opener. That's Big Ten, by the way, September 14th. Just scan this QR code and go to the link pinned in the chat. Summer is going to kick off at BlackRock. And oh, by the way, they got some great food. They got some great deals. Lunch specials, $8.99. That's what they're starting at. And the food, 755 degrees off that volcanic BlackRock. BlackRock is the place for you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet in Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew leases for only $189 a month, and the 2026 Equinox LT lease for only $209 a month. This offer ends August 10th, so get there quick and take advantage of these great offers.
Just got my daughter an Equinox.
Hey,
actually.
okay.
Yeah,
What color?
That's a great question. It's my wife and she are going to pick it up today.
Okay. Okay.
Are you a truck guy?
You're 100%.
Okay.
It's right there to your left, actually.
Do you think? Well, that's VIP parking right there. Do you think you have to be a quote unquote truck guy? Is there such a thing as only truck? I've had trucks before. I had an AT4 and I loved it. I'm not sure I'm a truck guy.
So I'm a truck guy now because I drive what you see out there, but I don't think I fit into that truck guy phase. Like when I played in the league, I always had a car and I had a truck. Truck was usually a Range Rover, Escalade. Car was usually blah, 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 whatever it was. I got that truck to satisfy an itch that I had in this new space. Like, trucks are big, the hatchback, everybody's driving, especially around the state of Michigan. So I golf a lot, it's fun. I can, transport people, whatever. So I got that, but I'm not a truck guy. I'm just tall. Like, I prefer a smoother ride. Like, I prefer a truck like a Range Rover where I can be up high but still ride smooth, or a Denali or something along those lines, or a sedan where I got some leg room and I'm on this road. Truck guy, it's temporary.
But the sedans are tough for you, aren't they? Because you're a tall guy.
Well, it depends on how much money we spend. It depends on how much bread we spend.
4-door.
Ricky's like, money, exactly. That's a big deal for me too. Yeah, I hear you.
To answer your question, I am not a truck guy. I'm acting like a truck guy until this lease is up.
Here's my issue with trucks, and really it's SUVs too, because I like them all too. Parking lots are not made for trucks.
No.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Parking garages are even worse.
Agreed. 100%. It's really hard to navigate. Now, not for us, okay? No. I think, relatively skilled. I can tell you this. I mean, my wife's had an SUV for a long time. It's hard for her to get that parking spot the right way. It's tough on some of these narrow streets.
Yeah. It's not hard now, Shep, not to cut you off, but when I first got the Denali hatchback, this was 2023, like, first time that I went into a parking structure, which is actually behind us over here on Peabody, I scraped a little bit of my light because I didn't realize, like, how much you really got to get out of the spot before you turn. Yeah. Like, I was thinking naturally, okay, cool, I'm out, make my turn, and clipped. Yeah, I guess I clipped somebody's car, but, neither here nor there.
You left the information.
It takes a while to, I'm not one of those guys that leaves.
He leaves an autographed card. Here you go.
That would be awesome. You and I put it on an index card. Braylon just leaves his card.
He says, here you go, brother.
Take that with you. It may be worth something one day. But it does take a while to get to learn how to drive those trucks. They're very, for lack of a better word, they're extended.
Yeah, no doubt. That's interesting. But you got a good-looking truck.
I appreciate
when's
that.
the lease up? You want me to take it over for you?
You can have it, man. Next year it'll be up, man. Shout out to the boys.
That's big money.
When you say truck guy, I instantly think of, like, that guy on the freeway when it's snowing. And everyone's going 55, and he's going 80 past everybody. Yeah. Like, that's when I think of truck guy when you say it. Like, that's a truck guy.
That's one definition. The other truck guy is
Large Marge.
Yes. Not just that, but his truck is an absolute pigsty. Never vacuums it.
Gotcha.
Never puts Armor All on
work
it.
Truck.
You open up the door, and you think a few piglets will jump out of it, right? Because he's using it for everything. Yep. He's got his toolbox in the back. Yep. He's got his rakes and his shovels and his boots, everything.
Car seat.
Those are the truck guys to me.
And it's also all type of fast food spots because he has to eat on the fly.
Right.
So you got White Castle's boxes in there. You got McDonald's fry boxes in there. Definitely, that's the truck guy. That's the truck guy. And like random diet Coke.
Yes,
it's random. Diet Coke's always going to be in there.
Like in the passenger side door, right down there on the bottom. You're looking, you're searching for something, and your hand dips into something. What the hell is that? Oil? No, it's spilled Diet Coke. It is helpful though, and your beautiful niece will have to do that a long time from now. She's awesome. That. Played soccer with her yesterday.
You got some skills with the soccer. I noticed that. I saw something.
She's only 3, but anyway, the thing about that is you get a situation like that where you're moving somebody like into a dorm, or you're helping someone move apartments. Truck, you got to have a truck.
Yeah,
it's really now. In my wife's case, it's going to Bourdines and grabbing trees and bushes and things of that nature.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it absolutely drives.
Gardener.
Yeah, it just drives me crazy. But more power to her. So just real quick, let's finish up the baseball thing. Here's my problem with Major League Baseball. It's more than hitting, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
One of the more famous plays in baseball history is in 1979. Dave Parker threw out Brian Downing at home plate. Ooh. And Dave Parker has an absolute howitzer.
He just passed.
Right?
Yeah.
He did just pass, unfortunately.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Another piece of my childhood gone. But an absolute howitzer. Roberto Clemente, Al Kaline, Dwight Evans, Jesse Barfield. Guys, I would love to see a contest where you put the radar gun where Aaron Judge is throwing from right field to third base. Aaron Judge is throwing from right field to home.
Yeah, I like that.
And give me a couple of guys who want to compete against him. Okay, if you're not going to participate in the home run derby,
Yeah.
how about something like that? I'd love to see Cal Raleigh with a pop time from behind the plate to second base. I would love to see Zach McKinstry try and steal on one of the catchers. He hasn't been caught all year. 15 for 15 in stolen bags. How about something like that?
Yeah,
Expand your umbrella a little bit, Major League Baseball. Why are you stuck doing what you're doing? You finally got it right where everyone's going to wear their home uniforms tomorrow, right?
Finally,
Yeah, that's dope.
Jesus.
Yeah, finally. I mean, since 2019, they've done this aquatic, ridiculous bullcrap.
That 2 years ago with Miggy's last one, I was like, why did you waste? Why did you waste Miggy's last All-Star appearance with that uniform?
Yeah. Pajamas.
What?
It does. It looks like a
For lack
softball
of a
team.
better word.
Right?
I like this because it adds an element like, you know who gets it right for me is NHL. NHL do their All-Star weekend. They continue to create weekends. Obviously, last year they did the Four Nations tournament. That was great. 2 years ago when they were in Vegas, they had this creative way to do these All-Star challenges. They were slap-shotting over at the Bellagio. But they create new things that keep you engaged. That's engaging.
Yes.
Like Manny Machado for me is my favorite third baseman like the last 15 years or so, 20 years ago. He's got a cannon. And he can throw anybody out from anywhere. To add to the Aaron Judge piece,
Right.
You get a couple of those third basemen, you got to field the ball from across body to cross. But here's the question. Does this now go back to the home run derby to where Justin and I were talking about guys are trying to hit these bombs, throwing out their swing, messing their swing up? If you're trying to gun somebody in front of everybody in the middle of whatever, does Aaron Judge throw his shoulder out trying to break the record?
Possibly.
Yeah, it's possible, but you could also you could have an oblique tear if you're trying to swing for the fences. You could hurt some part of your body, a shoulder, whatever it may be. So I don't think you know this better than I. You don't play sports to be injured, but it's all part of it. I think hockey does a really good job with that, but their game stinks because nobody plays defense, and that's the reason they needed to have what they did a year ago and made it so popular. But I'll give you an example. O'Neal Cruz is in
Tiger
the
killer.
Yeah, and he's in the home run derby. I don't view him as a home run hitter, but he's got 29 stolen bases. He leads baseball in swipes. Wouldn't you rather see what does he run first to third than him taking swings and come up short on some home? I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that. I really respect the other traits and skill sets of other athletes or other, thing other than power. Like football has turned into an absolute farce. When you're playing flag football, for Christ's sake, it's ridiculous.
With the MLB, I feel like they did such a good job with updating all the rules with like the bases and all that stuff. I feel like the All-Star game is the next thing they need to update. It just feels old all of a sudden. Like you said, the game's are 2 hours and then this is 3 hours. Like I feel like it's just time for them to do the same thing they did with the game and just update it.
It's been feeling a little old for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Not a long time. To your point, not a long time, but the last couple of years. I'll give you an instance. Hey, back in the day, pitchers went the distance.
Yeah,
like pitchers went deep into the game. I remember the infamous Pedro Martinez 2000. Like he took down the side, then kept going. He spent 4 innings out there, like seeing what he had against the best in the world. Now you got 3 batters. The guys got to go out there and give their best. That's why the AL is dominating, and that's why it's because all you got to do, you got your best pitcher on the mound. They go 1 round. They go 1 inning. Next pitcher.
Wow.
That's too much. Now I can't dial into a game. Like the best MLB game of my lifetime is the 2000. Now I watched that live. I was glued to the TV, but I was also glued to the home run derby. You add that, it does something that other sports do, like the skills challenge in the NBA or the rising stars. It allows you to put eyes on more players because
100%.
Dylan Dingler, he would be throwing guys out if you had that catcher's challenge because right now he's got the best laser in baseball.
There you go.
That's
like,
a way
like
to
he's
get
not an
him
all-star, but that's all right. Bring him
Get him in front of people.
Exactly.
Let the masses see him.
Yeah. Let people understand. They're so into certain statistics. They want the OPS and the OPS plus and the WOBA and all this other stuff. Okay. Then help people, educate the people on some of the other nuances of the game. You bring up Dylan Dingler, fly him in if he wants to be part of the All-Star festivities. Have him enjoy it in a different way. You bring up, the complete games, and I get it. Too many times I reflect back way back in the day because I love the Pro Football Reference and the baseball reference. You're never going to have that, unfortunately. Yeah. And I'm old guy when I talk about this, but I don't care. Justin Verlander's the best Tigers pitcher we've seen. Okay, I don't know if he's better than Hal Newhouser, who won 2 MVPs, but he's the best modern-day Tigers pitcher ever. He's got 26 career complete games.
Yeah.
Bob Gibson had 26 complete games in a season.
Yeah.
Go look at Bob Gibson's 1968 season, June and July. He had like 19 starts, and he had 19 complete games. All right? I mean, it's just not going to happen.
ERA like 1.16.
1.6. Just sick stuff. I mean, and he's one of the greatest of all time.
100%.
Okay? He had more complete games than wins. That tells you something about Bob Gibson. Unfortunately, you're not going to see that. I'm not saying that's the way it should be, and we got to go back there and be old guy. I'm just telling you, as much as people talk about bigger, stronger, faster in today's sports, there's a lot of things that were done back in the day that were almost just as good, if not better.
Yeah,
Okay?
Bob Gibson was that. He's a legend.
Yeah. And so when you look at the home run derby, I think of Jazz Chisholm. So we played this game. Ricky and I and Kool-Aid and I played this game. If I say to you, Jazz Chisholm, do you think home run?
No.
Okay. If I say James Wood, do you think home run?
No.
If I say Brent Rooker, do you think home run?
I don't know.
Yes.
So do I. O'Neal Cruz.
Yes.
I don't. I think hard hit ball.
Yes.
I don't think home
Exit
run.
high
You're
exit
right.
velo.
Okay, that's fair.
Right.
Doubles.
Byron Buxton, who I love. Okay, could have gone to Georgia, played wide receiver.
100%.
Okay, a really good athlete. Do you think home run?
No.
I don't either.
I think damn good baseball player.
Same here.
Yeah.
Agreed. However, he did have a career 28 homers in a couple years ago. That said, 7 of the top 8 home run hitters in baseball today are not in the home run derby.
Right, that's trash.
It
That's
is
crazy.
So what's the responsibility? Aaron Judge. I want to see Aaron Judge. I want to see Kyle Schwarber. I want to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I want to see Pete Alonso. I want to see Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah,
They don't want to do it.
And that's the one. And that's the one. You want to see Shohei. Shohei is the showstopper, and that is pun intended on that one. In the NBA, it's always the conversation, oh, it's about the money. You got to offer $1 million to get LeBron. I mean, obviously, LeBron's too old now, but you got to offer $1 million to get Anthony Edwards and the other guys. Is that it can't be that in baseball because they make too much money. So no amount of money is going to change their mind. What changes the mind of a Shohei Ohtani? What changes the mind of an Aaron Judge who's already been in it and already won it, mind you? What is the thing that gets them to change their mind?
That's a great question. Are you going to entice Juan Soto, who has made over $700 million guaranteed from the New York Mets, and say, by the way, if you win the home run derby or you participate, you're going to make $500,000? He'll laugh.
He's like, I'm making $775 million already.
I know.
What am I do with that?
So what's the point?
That's
right?
for his Amazon account.
Huh?
That's just for his Amazon account.
That's all
Some
it
extra
is.
cash for
That's
Amazon.
all it is. That's for the gas tank for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Any other super chats that we want to make sure we get in before we hit a break and turn our attention to the NFL and what I would call the ridiculous top 10 of top quarterbacks heading into 2025. I can't wait for Braylon's thoughts on it.
Yes, shout out to Rando Smalls. He sent in 2 different super chats, so shout out to him. The first one, $2 super chat. Cal Rowley's big old self has stolen 10 bases.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
How many Tigers have stolen 10 bases or more?
2.
I would say 2.
With this team or all together?
This team.
1, just Zach
This
McKinstry.
team?
Zach
One.
McKinstry.
Yeah.
That's it.
I can see
That's
that.
it.
Is Parker close?
Huh?
Parker Meadows is
Parker
gotta
missed
be close.
Yeah.
Missed the beginning. So
Yeah, he was out for a while, and since it's been a struggle for him. I like him as a person, I really do. You got to get on base to steal back.
100%. And
There,
another,
I was just about to ask you that. There it is.
Yep.
Your answer.
Yep.
That was very simple.
the other super chat we got, another one from Rando Smalls, $5 super chat. Great idea for home run derby. Bring back Griffey and the retired guys.
Oh, we gotta allow steroids. You gotta allow the steroids.
Thanks, Bud Selig. We appreciate you very much.
That's the only way.
Bub blew that one. Man.
Yeah, look, I've said this before, and I love the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean I always love the people who run the game or the people who vote on the game. I have fought this battle forever. It's been a losing battle. I think it's ridiculous, some of the people who vote for Hall of Famers. And when you bring up Ken Griffey Jr., who I think is one of the greatest players of my lifetime and maybe in baseball history, there's some moron out there who said at one point, I don't think it's a good idea I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Somebody thought that. There's somebody who thought Willie Mays was not a Hall of Fame player. Take the vote away.
Take the vote away, and if you're not going to take the vote away, then put your name on it. Because for you to sit there and tell me that Derek Jeter, look, I don't care whatever the gripe is with Derek Jeter as it relates to he's not the best or he couldn't have been this. But there's one thing we can all agree on as it relates to my captain, who I spent time in New York with, so I'm very partial to him. He should have been unanimous MVP.
Agreed.
Somebody decided that they wanted to be the one to have the power, so that he didn't get a unanimous MVP. They vote him not in.
100%.
So now, who are you?
Right.
Put your name on it.
I want you. I think
fair,
people
be
do
man
put.
enough.
I think they put their names on it. They just don't publicize putting those names on it. When I had my Heisman vote, I had to put my name on it. All right. I had no problem telling people I voted for Manti Te'o for the Heisman. I have no problem with it. Okay. But my issue is, what are you using as your criteria? I think Mariano Rivera is a Hall of Famer, but for him to be the first unanimous is asinine.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody thought Ty Cobb's not worthy. Babe Ruth's not worthy. Hank Greenberg's not worthy. Most of these are just slam dunks, to use a different cliche from a different sport.
It's funny. Like, jealousy is a real thing. And when you see individuals like that, to get all the love, to have the smile, to have and do the right thing, and they can't poke holes and say, well, he did this or he did that. They can't find anything, so they're going to punish him this way. Meanwhile, Mariana, he's a background guy, so you're not looking at him that way. What he does, it doesn't bother you. You know, it doesn't make you like, I can't stand that Mariana. Nah, ain't what you saying when you think of him. You like, Enter the Sandman. It's go time.
I'm good with that.
Jealousy is a bitch.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Although I love that song. There's no question about it. We love Les Stanford Buick and GMC too. We got great offers for everybody. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special, $599 a month plus tax. That's a hell of a deal. Or you can try out the 2025 Hummer EV SUV lease special at $699 a month. Don't forget about the 2025 Sierra double cab elevation lease special for only $169 a month. We were just talking about this. Folks, we were just talking about how are you a truck guy, or maybe you're, an SUV guy. Les Stanford Buick and GMC's got it all for you. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC. For all these specials, go to lesstanford.com.
Now, what if I told you you could place a bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get your money back? You probably think I was crazy, right? Well, scan this QR code or enter this code Woodward 1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. So why not give it a shot, man? Minimum bets are $20, so download that Caesar Sportsbook app right now. It is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use that code Woodward 1000 or just scan the QR code on the screen right now. We'll be right back.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. Thenfights.com.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
So, you're a Detroit sports fan, huh? Well then, make sure you subscribe to all the Woodward sports pages on YouTube. We have Woodward Baseball, Woodward Pistons, and of course, Woodward Hockey. Get breakdowns, updates, and bonus coverage of all things Detroit. So pick your favorite sport and follow along with the best Detroit sports coverage ever made. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on the expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Look, he is a friend of the show. He's a friend of mine. Whenever I reach out to Doc, he always takes care of what the situation is. I had a situation recently where I asked him to take a look at a young boy that pitched. Man, he fixed his back legitimately one session. Not saying he can do that for you, but he can get you right. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during the Big D Energy and Thursdays during the show right here, the Braylon Network show, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy, the DMAC Trust, and that's Dr. Jeff Pierce, man. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And when I tell you, you got to get in shape. You got to get in shape. The place to do it is Planet Fitness. But before we get into that, calling all teens 14 and 19. Look, you guys work out for free. It is the Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass program. All summer long you work out. That's till August 31st. You know what's just as important as physical health? It's mental health. So we want you guys to get out of the house, get in shape, feel great. But the best thing is there's no judgment in Planet Fitness, man. So you come in, you do the workout that you want at the pace that you want. Nobody's judging you, man. The jeans are squeaky clean. Squeaky clean are the gyms. Come on down, 14 and 19. And if you're older than that, well, you know what time it is. Man, got fitness that fits into your budget. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Fitness is essential, Shep.
For sure.
I believe it.
Listen, and you looked the part, man.
Looking is the key word.
Well, no, come on, man. I mean, credit where credit is due. I would like to. I got to get back in the gym. I suffered over this past weekend some poison ivy.
Oh.
So I had to wrap the hands a little bit, or wrap the arms a little bit.
That's what that was. I
It's
know.
frustrating the hell out of me.
See, I was respectful. I didn't ask the question. You know what I'm saying? I figured, he'll let me know when the time is right.
I knew you thought about it.
100%.
Here's the bigger frustration. I'm out there working in the yard. Yeah. I've got the pants on. It's so hot. I got a shirt on. My wife says, you really should have a long sleeve shirt on. I said, why am I going to have a long sleeve shirt on when it's really warm out? She's like, could be some poison ivy over there. So if I were you, I'd put on a long sleeve shirt.
Nah.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, I am not roasting in this. I'll take care of it. What happens? Boom. I get it. She has not said, to her credit, I told you.
Yeah.
But I know every time I'm wiping on the ointment, taking a pill to try and fix it, you know what she's thinking.
Yeah, I told you so.
If you just listen to me, you'll be fine. Somebody in the chat, and we love the chats, okay? We appreciate it. We appreciate the engagement. So a couple things let me address. One said, check out Mark Fidrich. Well, Mark Fidrich in 1976, who was Rookie of the Year and was runner-up in the Cy Young to Jim Palmer, who started 40 games, I might add. But Mark Fidrich that year threw 24 complete games, was 19-9,
Okay.
and had a 2.34 ERA. When I bring up Gibson, I want you to think about it for just one moment in 68. He had a 1.12 ERA. He was 22-9. He had 28 complete games and 13 shutouts. 13 shutouts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Okay, so I'm a big Bob Gibson fan, even though he played the Tigers. I love that Mickey Lolich beat him in Game 7. I love that the Tigers beat those Cardinals. But that dude was a man among boys.
I just don't understand how you have a 1.12 ERA and you lose 9 games.
Right.
I'm trying to figure that part out.
Well, how does a team like Philadelphia win 50 some odd games and Steve Carlton win what 27?
27, yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it just
anomalies.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's one of the many things I love about sports. The other thing I wanted to address in the chat is, sometimes we get a little snarky, and that's fine. But I welcome all the challenges and anyone who wants to bring it up to me. Shep couldn't find a better gig than this. Let me tell you something, man. I do have some good gigs. I do this because I want to do it. I do this because of the people here, and I haven't even known them that long, but I know the difference between good chemistry, good camaraderie, good teammates. That's what I've said for a long time. The man to my right is a difference maker, and it's really important to me. So please don't take this as a knock, but it's not like I need to do it. I do it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and I like being in Detroit, okay? So there are opportunities outside of Detroit. This is where my family was born and raised. This is where I'm raising in my family. You don't like it, you don't have to watch, okay?
This is true.
Say goodbye to the chat. Feel free. But in the meantime, you're the one watching us, not the other way around. Yeah. Let's get to the NFL, all right?
Before we get to the NFL, let me clean up these super chats,
all
though,
right,
so we can have some uninterrupted NFL
going,
conversation. Yeah. So first of all, shout out Freddie Felt for the $1.99 super chat. Bray is a GOAT. Shep is a legend. Cheers, fellas. Thank you so much for the super chat. And then Burn with a $5 super chat. Great show, great listen on my day off while I build a bench. Congrats, Braylon.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. 100% Burn. Burn's always been there. So I remember we first started doing the wheel. He was one of the first names on the wheel. Where you building the bench is the question. What bench? Where you building it? And what color will it be? Some good questions.
Okay. Well, wait for those answers, right?
We'll take our time.
I want some answers with this. I can't say that I'm always watching the 4-letter network. I'm not sure if you are either. I think there is a lot that is left to be desired there. However, I give their writers a ton of credit because they come up with some really good stuff, all right? And one of the things is the top 10 quarterbacks based on conversations they've had with executives, scouts, and coaches. Now, would you like their name associated with this? I mean, absolutely.
Right, 100%.
But would you expect it?
No.
Probably not.
When they do lists like this, ESPN, typically they'll add something to it. They'll add it if it's one of their main analysts or if it's one of their main writers, they'll throw something up there. If it's not on this one, then oh well.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you play these types of games as we look at the list right now here on the Braylon Edwards Show? How often do you look at these lists and how much stock do you take in them?
You know what? We were having a good conversation yesterday, and I'll say that we put too much stock in them because they come out so much. A lot of times they're filler. People don't have anything to talk about. They come up with these lists, and so then what we do is we break these lists down again and again and again and again. I think it gets old to the fan base, and I think you start criticizing against yourself. Like, well, I thought this about this guy. When you break it down 12 times, I guarantee you're not going to say the same exact thing about those players. So I don't want to put any more stock than I need to. This one was interesting, though.
Yeah, it is interesting.
This one was interesting, and it definitely needed to be talked about.
I'm interested to see how you look at these lists because I think, and I don't want to speak for everybody on the show, but, Ricky and I are probably looking at this a lot differently than you are.
Okay.
100%.
We'll immediately look at statistics to try and validate who we think should be 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 10.
100, yeah.
All right? It baffles me that 6 through 10. So what, in case people don't know, what ESPN does is they take their highest ranking, their lowest ranking, and where they were a year ago, and they give you a synopsis. Highest ranking for Patrick Mahomes is 1. His lowest ranking was 4. Overall, he got the 1 overall. Yeah. All right? You look from 6 to 10, the lowest ranking from, as you can see there, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Baker Mayfield. Their lowest ranking was unranked. My question to those people who had that, who the hell's ahead of them?
Yeah, right.
And when you get to the honorable mentions of Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud, it has to be one of those two. The other guys that at least received mentions have no business being in the conversation. None. So I'd like to know, when you look at a list like this, do you look at it from a receiver standpoint of, I would want to catch a pass from this guy, I like this guy as a leader? What are the intangibles you look at when you see a list like this?
When I look at a list like this, first thing I'm thinking of for the number one guy is it's a 2-year period. Like, as I'm ranking them this year, it's a 2-year period. Because you give me 2 years, you give me the 24 to 23 season, I can see where you were 23, and I can see where you got to in 24, and I can make my my assessment on where I think you should be 25, 100%. So, are you winning? The Super Bowl. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Who's got the most titles in this? Who's current? You look at Patrick Mahomes. He won 2 years ago. He won 3 years ago. He was in the game last year. That bodes well for him when I'm doing this. Patrick Mahomes is the guy they try to compare to Brady. A little too soon, might I add. But he's the guy that's going to be up there. Josh Allen. He's the guy that leads the team. He's the guy that when you look at his numbers, they're great. But when you look at his playoff numbers, Josh Allen has the best playoff numbers of any quarterback on this list. Like, he has the best playoff numbers in terms of
better than Mahomes.
Well, touchdowns, interceptions, yards, things that the ones that you look at, those he has more yards. He has more, not including the Super Bowl, of course, because he's never been there. But interception, doesn't throw a ton of interception. He's not a guy that beats himself. You look at Lamar Jackson. That same conversation comes up. He's a guy that beats himself in these games. He has the stats, he has the yards, but in those big moments, he falters. I don't pay attention to that regular season stuff. I could care less about the regular season. Like, really? What are these quarterbacks in the playoffs? Okay. What are these quarterbacks? Because when you look at that list, every quarterback on this list has been to the next round of the playoffs. Every quarterback on this list has expectations to be in the Super Bowl. Except for Herbert, right? He lost to Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. He lost to Trevor Lawrence, and he lost last year as well. So he's lost twice the 2 playoff games that he's been in.
So with that explanation, Joe Burrow doesn't belong on this list because he didn't make the playoffs.
He also made the Super Bowl.
Right. He did make the Super Bowl 1 year.
So he missed it the last 2 years. He would have missed it.
Right.
Last year,
but he had the best.
But they're an anomaly.
Okay.
He's an anomaly.
All right. Because he had one of the best years we've ever seen a quarterback have with those numbers.
And I think you can add that to it. You can look at what the defense is. You can look at what the offense is. 33 points a game is what they're averaging. 40 touchdowns is what he had. 5,000 yards is what he had. Like, it ain't his fault.
Right.
And I use ain't for effect. It ain't his fault. And then you look at when he went to the Super Bowl 3 seasons ago. He had one of the, if not worst, offensive lines to ever get all the way to the dance, and he still was this close from winning that game because of a pass that almost would have been a touchdown if a lot of ifs and a lot of almost's, but he was in that dance with that. That counts for something. Now you look at that, he didn't make the playoffs last year, but is it Joe Burrow's fault? Right. Or is it that Cincinnati Bengals front office that don't want to play defensive players?
Thank you.
So you look at it from that. Like, Stafford is a guy that's interesting. The list is interesting.
It is.
None itself. I want to break it down from that standpoint.
Yeah, no, I love that. It is a little interesting for me, and I think for Lions fans, to still see Matthew Stafford ahead of Jared Goff and see him as productive as he is at his age and rank 6th. Like, the highest ranking he had was 4. I mean, somebody believes in this dude.
I think a lot of people believe in this dude. Do you think it's warranted, or are you asking me, do I believe in him?
I think it's warranted. But I've been a Stafford fan for a long time, and I've been ridiculed for it, which is fine because everybody has their opinion. I think he's a baller. I think he's a dude. I think he's the guy you want out in your huddle making those clutch throws. I'm not saying I wouldn't want Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff had a hell of a year last year. I'm glad that he's the Lions quarterback, but I like Matthew Stafford when he was here too.
Yeah, I like Matthew Stafford. I think if you look at it from this lens, look, when Matthew Stafford was here, 11 seasons, he didn't win a playoff game. You can cry about 2014, cry about wherever. It is what it is. It didn't happen. You saw a lot of who Matt Stafford was. So much of the new transition to Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila Ham, this regime is talking about what the Lions were and how bad they were and how they were so bad in the front office, how they were so bad in terms of bringing talent in, et cetera. Matt Stafford was a part of that. All right, here's a fun topic. Here's a fun exercise. Let Matt Stafford go. See if he can go somewhere else and see what type of success he had. Well, he did that and he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Well, he did that last year and he won a Super Bowl. You look at they did it a couple years ago. They won the Super Bowl. You look at last year. I don't want to play the if game. If that game's not in Philly and if it's in L.A., the Los Angeles Rams are not losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't think anybody in the playoffs could have beat the Rams in that particular moment. At that particular time, because they went to Philly, they went toe-to-toe in the snow.
Yes, they did.
And they were just a nickel throw away. So I think Stafford is showing you that you gave me an opportunity, you put some pieces around me, I could be a type of quarterback. So 6 is warranted.
Yeah, I don't think he ever had – I did a study on this once. This was a while back. But I don't think he ever had a running game that was better than 17 or 18 in his career. And I think he only had 2 defenses that were in the top half of the NFL.
14,
total
13.
defense, okay? One time they were number 2, I believe.
14.
I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve some, negative responses for his time being here in Detroit. I'm just saying oftentimes, like you just alluded to with Joe Burrow, a lot of it is you've got to have guys around you. We talk about the NFL being the ultimate team sport, and it is. Because you can't do your job if the big nasties don't do their job. You can't do your job if your Q doesn't do his job. You can't do your job if the running back's not picking up the blitz, all these different things. And then at the end, we're sitting here giving all the rose petals but also throwing all the coal at one guy's feet, and I've never liked it.
100%. Yeah, offensive line. You just look what the offensive line was when he was here. I know a lot of those guys. I actually played with a couple guys later on in life. I won't say their names, but it was an interesting time as it relates to the offensive line. I'm looking at this list, and I'm interested, though. You see Jaden Daniels, he's only had 1 year.
Yeah.
He's sitting currently at 5. Everybody on this list looks like they have something to prove with the exception of number 1. Like, you start going down the list, it's this guy has to prove. Like Josh Allen, he's got to win the Super Bowl this year because Buffalo's been floating for 5 or 6 years. Right. That scenario. Joe Burrow, he's like the one anomaly. People don't even care where he's at on this list because they know what he can do. Like, he's the one that gets the exemption, which we've given him as well. Lamar Jackson, you mean to tell me he's got something to prove? Like, he's the one quarterback nobody cares about the regular season. Please don't come tell him. I'm the one that votes for him to go to the AFC, to the Super Bowl, represent the AFC every year. Please don't come tell me anything about the regular season with Lamar Jackson. I have no interest in.
So the 2 MVPs that he wins for regular season play doesn't matter to you.
The first one was amazing. Mm-hmm. Second one, based on how he won it, was great. At this point, all right.
Last year was his best year.
Exactly, and he didn't get it, and you know what? I wasn't outraged.
He's done stuff that no quarterback in the history of this league has ever done, but it doesn't matter because of what happened, especially in the playoffs last year when he threw a pick and he fumbled. Right? That's kind of what people. That's what people are thinking, right?
Jared Goff. Let's throw his name out here. Let's engage with Jared Goff. Jared Goff is 8 on this list.
He's 8 on this list. Yeah.
Been to a Super Bowl in 2017. He's come here, help, not even he's turned this franchise around.
Sure. Yep.
Dan Campbell and others. We'll just leave it at that. He's got stuff to prove too.
Even though he's been to a Super Bowl before.
He's been to a Super Bowl last year. He was number 1 in QBR. I think he was 4 in touchdowns. He was 3 in yards. He did all the things. At one point, he was in the MVP race, if you will, lower, but in the MVP race. 15 wins last year. All of these great things. What's the last game you remember him?
Yeah, people remember him playing Washington.
5 picks.
Right. And you're right. He was one of the MVP front runners until the game in Houston.
After they beat the Minnesota Vikings, he couldn't tell me his name wasn't in at least the 4 spot of the MVP race.
Do you have a problem with him being at 8? And if so, where should he be?
I don't have a problem with him being at 8. Well, if you're gonna put Justin Herbert at 7, then yes.
That's my point.
If you Herbert shouldn't be on this list realistically. And I understand what Herbert can be. I understand that we're still going back to his rookie year. We threw for 5,000 yards, with a no-name at offensive coordinator. But what have you done for me lately? Last year wasn't Justin Herbert. It was an offensive line, a running game, and a defense, and the Fighting Jimmies that got to the playoff. It wasn't Justin Herbert and his prowess as a skilled quarterback. So he shouldn't be on there. Outside of that, Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, but Jalen Hurts is still Jalen Hurts. I think that's fair assessment. Baker Mayfield, for what he's done.
Baker Mayfield's last year was unbelievable.
I'm not so sure Baker Mayfield shouldn't be in the 7 spot.
Yeah. He might be a little bit higher. I would say if I had to rank these, you can squabble about 1, 2, 3, 4. I think for the most part, the 4 of us and all those you watching out there would probably use those 4 names. It may not be in that order, but you're going to use those 4 names. The debate starts at 5 and on down. Not that I wouldn't have Jaden Daniels in the top 10. Probably wouldn't have him at 5. I would have Jared Goff higher. I would have Justin Herbert lower, and I would have Baker Mayfield higher. if you're basing it off 1 year.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take their careers into account, then that's a different discussion. But I think this is based off what they did a year ago.
Okay. With that being fair, with the Jared Goff situation, how much of that is who is no longer the offensive coordinator, and who is no longer the center, who no longer do those things weigh into this conversation as well?
For me, it doesn't. It's interesting.
Okay.
At your house yesterday, when we had that really good meal, I would have a conversation with your father about that. You know better than any of us how important the coordinators are.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love Ben Johnson's ingenuity and creativity, not because he's thrown to Dan Flippin Skipper. Okay, not because Penei Sewell suddenly gets, some type of reverse toss to him. I'm just talking about the every downs. Yeah. You're not predictable. I hate predictability, all right? So I like that about him. But those guys are the ones who still have to block, pass, run, and catch. And I think this team's just got really good talent.
Yeah.
Here's my concern, more than Ben Johnson leaving. Frank Ragnow. And I would say this, too. Kevin Zeitler was a son of a bitch a year ago. Missing those two guys and then taking, I would argue, with all due respect to Graham Glasgow, the weakest member of the offensive line and possibly putting him in a new position attached with possibly two rookies. That's why I'd love to see him sign Brandon Scherf. I think he would be a really, really good signing for this team. But that's my concern for them is those three middle guys of the offensive line more so than the OC.
Yeah, no 100%. That offensive line, Kevin Zeitler was amazing last year. He was the highest graded offensive lineman we had, and that included number 58, who we love dearly here, as we should, Penei Sewell. It's going to be interesting to see, and I think whatever comes of this list or blah, 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 these quarterbacks have a lot to prove as it relates to Jared Goff. Jared, this is the prove it year for you. And I know it sucks because you got paid last year, and last year you proved it as it relates to the money, but when you look at the totality of Jared Goff, I think this moment sets up for him to be a prove it. Got let go by the Rams. We know how that thing ended, middle of the night out in Cabo. Now he's here in Detroit. He's walking through Birmingham with security. We have thoughts about Jared Goff, conversations about this and what he isn't. Fast forward to last year and what he does, get the contract, and he balls out. But now there's no Ben Johnson in a metaphorical sense to hold his hand. Because we know Ben's not holding his hand. He's a grown man, but there's no Ben Johnson. There's no, okay, well, we don't know. We don't think. We saw who you were last year. We saw what you were able to do in 2017 with the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now it's on you. You've established 4 years with this team. You've built this team to be your team. This city is around you. You got the Jared Goff chants everywhere. This is going to be interesting from the standpoint of who is Jared Goff, because I think this year we will find out.
I'll tell you this. I think we might find out about who Ben Johnson is, too.
Ooh.
Okay. So as much as Ben Johnson gets a lot of credit, and deservedly so, the toys in that tool chest are pretty damn good. And I think Chicago's got some really good weapons, too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they're not the same. It's not under a controlled environment. It's not as good as offensive line as he had a year ago. Let's see how creative and how they can implement that creativity in Chicago before we talk about just how much the Lions miss Ben Johnson.
Right.
Let's see who really captivated us more, the play caller or the guys carrying out those plays.
Quick question. So you don't trust the off-season moves made by the Chicago Bears as it relates to the offensive line?
Yeah, they did a good job. I think that was really important for them.
Okay.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I love their wide receiving core. I think Caleb Williams is really good. I think DeAndre Swift is really good. I do not think they're as good as Detroit is offensively.
Fair.
So we'll see what happens. Now, does that mean they win the division? Because their defense is really good. If Detroit's defense is healthy, they're equally as good, if not better.
Agreed.
Let's see. Okay? All these people would think – I was talking with somebody last night who said the Lions are going to be a wild card. Fair enough. That's your opinion. I respect it. I'd like to know who wins the division then. Green Bay? Minnesota? You're asking an awful lot of a rookie quarterback. And Green Bay hasn't gotten it done. I mean, we talk about guys who come up short.
Right.
Jordan Love, really impressive win 2 years ago in Dallas. Outside of that,
nothing.
okay? some good numbers.
Yeah.
But let's be careful before we start anointing him the next Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Bart Starr. Let's get to a message from Massage Chair, and then it's Lady Jeans, who we're good friends with these folks for sure.
Yeah. Massage Chair House too, man. You're looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with the top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc. He's the creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. So make sure you check that out, man. And book a visit right now at massagechairhouse.com, or you can scan that QR code. That's even easier. Go do it right now, man. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Ricky, weren't you just in the massage chair getting a massage? Because it's just to your left.
Always.
Okay.
I love that massage. That massage chair is my mistress.
I'm sure your wife loves hearing that. Guys, let's be honest.
Could be worse.
Ricky shared information with us. We want to share this with you. It's the simple stuff in life, like gimmies on the golf course. If you're playing golf with Braylon Edwards, he doesn't give you anything. You've got to earn it all, right? We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you're in one of those wonderful, comfortable chairs. You are handsome and clean. As handsome as you can be made handsome. Lady Jane's, open 10 till 8, 7 days a week, and you can walk in at any time. It is wicked awesome.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
All right, you heard it the first time, you're going to hear it again. Justice it just means different things to different people. But whether it's a settlement or a verdict, Ben Johnson wants to fight for you, man. And that's the key, is he's a fighter. Ben Johnson Law, they are fighters over there. It doesn't matter. They're tough. They're tenacious. They're trial lawyers. They want to go to trial for you, or they want to make a settlement for you. You are the most important person in this equation, and that's why they're going to fight for you. Go to VinFights.com.
And make sure you stay connected to Woodward Sports on all social platforms. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram. Can't forget about YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. Stay up to date with the latest sports news, live updates, and you can't forget that behind-the-scenes action, man. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button. Again, we're on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. Again, that's at Woodward Sports on all platforms, at Woodward Sports everywhere.
Back with you on the Braylon Edwards Show. Thanks to Ricky and Justin and Kool-Aid, Kenneth, Ryan, and Sam and Brady and EZ, Chad Johnson, Jesse Dillon, Tim McCollum. Thanks for the partnership and thanks for the leadership as well, and to your leadership as well. Speaking of leaders, Bryce Underwood is the freshman quarterback at Michigan. We don't know if he's starting or not, but he was quoted as saying in a Detroit News article, "I want to be a great leader." How do you define that?
At the collegiate level?
Any level.
Got to be selfless.
First and foremost,
gotta
selfless.
Be selfless.
Okay.
You got to be selfless. You know, Lloyd taught me that, man. You got to give yourself to something greater than yourself, and that was the cause that I joined the University of Michigan, man. The team, they preach that. But I believe that's all things, in all walks of life. Whenever you are in a role of leadership, you got to be selfless. Okay. That means you got to be about all the moving parts. You got to understand that, you know, just one finger can't get it done. You put them together, you make the fist. This is how we operate. And then from there, you got to put in the time. You know, you got to put in the time. I don't want to hear a leader in the sense of the voice that can give me the Denzel Washington speech from Remember the Titans, but doesn't go out there and back it up. Mm-hmm. That I don't see in the weight room, that I don't see getting there early. Like, when you talk about being a leader, certain things come with that. That's the guy I know is going to be in the locker room way before everybody else. I know they're watching the films. I know that they're not going to be making mental errors, and they're trying to talk about leading, but they're not leading by example, which you get to. You got to lead by example. You got to lead by example. You got to be coachable.
I love that. Yeah, I think those are great traits.
Yeah.
Can you lead as a freshman in college or as a rookie in the pros?
Yes, you can. I think sometimes you get called to do it and you didn't know you were going to do it. I mean, but you have to have people around you. You can lead, but you got to have people around you. Lamar Jackson, as a rookie, as a freshman, he was a leader in Louisville. But he had a coach that helped him. He had players that are around him. I'll give you a little one closer to home. I came back my senior year at Michigan because I was excited to play with Matt Gutierrez. Matt Gutierrez was the backup to John Navarre. He had come from Warren De La Salle. If you know anything about the history, they were undefeated for years. There's a movie about him. I want to say Dennis Quaid played the coach.
Yeah, national championship after
every single year, right? So he was the guy. I knew he was going to be good. I trusted. I said, I'll come back for my senior season because I trust that. Well, he tore his labrum in training camp. And so my quarterback was Chad Henne, who was a freshman. Right. For a non-redshirt freshman. He was a freshman. He didn't start off as a leader, but he was a guy that he was there. He learned from the coaches. He worked with Scott Loeffler in the mornings. He was there doing the things that he was supposed to be doing. He would talk to us. We kind of guided him along. He had myself, who was a 3-year starter. You had Dave Boss, who was another All-American. Shout out to the AP All-Americans out there. Dave Boss, he was another one. We were able to, and then we had Lyman, we had Tony Pate. We had some guys that had been there. So he could see and kind of view from us. And then he had one of the greatest coaches of all time, best coach I ever had, Lloyd Carr. So from first game he played against Miami of Ohio to the infamous 3-touchdown game, when we come back against Michigan State, that game doesn't happen if he couldn't lead. That game doesn't just happen because you got a freshman that just thrust in there and, oh, by the way, he's got Mike Hart. No, Chad made some throws. Chad made some calls. Chad took it upon himself and some times in there, but we came to that point together. So I don't think you just start off. Bryce isn't going to show up in Ann Arbor back in January, hey, I'm leading. But I think as you get comfortable with your team, as you get comfortable with your coach, as players get the chance to see you, as players get to lock eyes on what you can be out there, what are you doing in training camp? What are you doing in the summers? How are you? Oh, this guy is a leader. This guy can be a leader. And then slowly but surely you let him take the reins until you look up and there's nothing you can do. And
So you're taking note of that. Players recognize it. It's not just coaches who are recognizing that. Other players are recognizing the type of input specific players have into everything, huh?
100%. Like, just like any other process, like a leader, a president, a leader, it's a vetting process. Like, the masses are watching to see, all right, can this person be president? Is this somebody that we trust? And more you trust, you know what, he's got my vote because I've seen this, or this person has my vote. I think that's what happens in a leadership role or a captaincy role is, let me pay attention. Because the quarterback spot always typically gets the leader spot. So those are the ones that have the most eyes. And he's going to get quadruple eyes because he's number one player in the nation.
What about the situation? So we were just done talking about the Lions and the division for a little bit. J.J. McCarthy's moving into a spot in Minnesota where he's got some really good talent around him, right? Big fellas up front, Justin Jefferson, along with Jamar Chase, best wide receivers in the
Hockenson,
game.
Addison.
Jordan Addison, really good guy to go to, sure-handed. Hockenson, better receiver than blocker, but either way, good stuff. So he's got plenty of that. That's got to help him ease his way into the leadership in the huddle. Just because you're the leader in the huddle doesn't mean that you're the leader on the team.
Best thing that happened for J.J. McCarthy, which is, it sounds crazy when you think about it, was getting injured, though. And the reason why is all last season he was able to sit behind Sam Darnold. He was able to sit in those meetings. He was able to have his own film sessions with Kevin O'Connell, watch this team. He was able to watch how the operation works. He was able to watch how the operation that he was going to take over, which he's taking over this year for the Minnesota Vikings and Kevin O'Connell, he was able to see this is how it works. Now there's no pressure in that role. Now you see the excitement. Now you see how good your team is. Now you see how great your skill core is. They've made them better while he was out sitting and relaxing and, getting ready to play this year. Now you implement him with some confidence. Now you implement him with more size. He's picked up some weight. He's put on some muscle. He's picked up how to study. He knows his receivers now. Last year, you put him in a situation where he was getting drafted in April, and he's trying to get from April till August to get to know Jordan Addison, to get to know, I don't know why I say Justin Jefferson first, but to get to know Justin Jefferson, Hockenson, the whole Aaron Jones. Now he's had a full year. So when he's coming in this year, he's not going to be as a rookie, even though this is his first time playing. And he's in a great situation, probably top 3 skill groups in the league. I don't expect him not to have success because I saw it at Michigan. I saw the very first time he did a press conference after they lost to Georgia, and I saw the emotions, and I saw the intent, and I saw those same things in the off-season reverberate. I saw when they lost again against TCU, and I saw that it made him even more hungry, made him work even more hard. Everybody, whether it's Blake Corum, the offensive line that won the Joe Moore 2 years in a row, all those great players, all those players that were drafted, broke the draft record for the first round a couple years ago, they all rallied around one guy. And that guy is J.J. McCarthy. So you can say what you want to about J.J. He already knows how to lead. His head coach, where was his head coach before Michigan, and where's his head coach now? He's an NFL coach. So I believe J.J. McCarthy is going to have a lot more success in this role than people think. I think this was set up for him to be great, and I think he will be.
It's interesting. Somebody on the chat chimed in and said, in my humble opinion, I think even though Jared Goff may not be the field general, this is from Steven, people do not see Goff as the field general type that Peyton Manning was, but every bit as capable and talented as Manning is my opinion. That's pretty lofty. I wouldn't go that far. We're talking about a 5-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champ, been to 3 Super Bowls, and a guy who is arguably a top 5 quarterback all time. I'm not going to go that far. But I love the passion and the belief that he has in Jared Goff.
I think I can understand. Who said that? Who made that comment?
Stephen Baffey.
Steve Baffey, yeah.
Steve, what's up? I appreciate that comment. I understand what Steve is saying. He's not Peyton Manning. I mean, hell, there's only maybe 3 that are same levels, but maybe 4 or 5 that are same levels. So it's not that part. It's the part that he was a leader of men and people listen.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you do see from Jared Goff. He's not one of the guys that's out there with the biggest voice and rah, rah, rah. But when Jared speaks, people listen. And you start to see how he commands a huddle. You see how the guys talk about him. They talk about his preparation. I think everyone here, and even when he was in Los Angeles, I remember Todd Gurley specifically talking about Jared helping him. And this was like year 2, 3 for Jared Goff. So he definitely has people listening to him, and people definitely respect and appreciate that he's the field general for this team.
Yeah, I do remember. Look, Jim Caldwell was one of my favorite people. I think he's just a good man.
Yeah.
I thought he was a very good leader. He may not have been the best coach on Sunday, but players responded to him. Very calm, very forceful, very understanding, and very professional. I loved him. I did. And I remember having a conversation with him when he first got to Detroit, and I asked him, because Stafford was his quarterback, and we're in a TV production meeting, and I said to him, you know, I'm not comparing the two. I want to know preparation-wise, because Jim was with Peyton Manning for so long in Indianapolis, Stafford and Peyton Manning. As soon as I said Peyton Manning, he goes, hold on now. That's a different animal. We're talking about a guy who he goes up when the plane lands, he's upstairs doing film. He told me a story where one time on a Monday as they get together and they're getting ready for the next team, Peyton Manning literally had every play down that the opposition defense was ready to run, and that he was saying in so many words, you know how I know it's this play? Look at how this guy's holding the clipboard. I mean, he picked up the little nuances that you never would think.
Yeah, Peyton Manning, quick Peyton Manning story, and I'm going to give you the last thing I think for a leader, and it's an important one. I think you guys agree. Peyton Manning, I got a chance to see it live in action. I played against Peyton the first time my rookie year, and I played against him one other time, but it wasn't anything special. They won, we lost. You know, it wasn't anything crazy. We played them in the AFC Championship in 2009 season, the 2010 AFC Championship game. We were up by 10. Going into the half, we missed a field goal. It was 31 seconds left. Shep, I saw him orchestrate a 31-second touchdown drive that covered 82 yards, and I said, yeah, there's a reason why they call him the sheriff. Like he hitched his pants up, put the star on, and he went to work. That's just the brilliance of what he was. One thing that came to me about being a leader, you don't want to let leaders down. Like, when you know somebody's leaders, when you don't want to let them down. Like, when guys talk and blah, 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 if they're not out there really getting it, if they're not out there backing up the words, if they're not out there meaning it, if they're not putting in that effort, that time, that work, you don't care. You don't care. My first year in Cleveland, we had an offensive lineman by the name of Ryan Tucker. Okay. Played for the St. Louis Rams, the Super Bowl season that they won. Played for them when they lost. Played for us. He had a pinched nerve. He had 3 cracks in his vertebrae. He had a slip disc. He had partially torn meniscus. Ryan Tucker was at the facility every morning at 6 a.m. Ryan Tucker got enough treatment to somehow be able to practice. Not only did he practice, he would speak after practice. Then on Sunday, don't know how he was able to wake up, let alone play 60 minutes out there. And then what did he do? He was going back to the facility on Monday morning and start the process over. When I saw him upset with me, I knew I had messed up. Like, that's not a guy that I wanted to let down because he was a leader. Leaders, you do not want to let down because you want to put the same effort and intensity and value on the game that they put on it. That's the biggest one for me. I don't want to let a leader down.
I also love the guys who are not afraid to fail. Like, everybody talks about, he lives for that moment because he wants to see success. I look at it a little differently. He's in that moment because he's not afraid to fail. That's a really important characteristic, I think. Yeah. Guys want, we talk about pressure all we want. Pressure's self-induced. Pressure comes as, depending on how we feel about it. You guys train for the moment your entire lives. It's what you live for. It's what you wanted. It's what you look at because this is what you used to be, or this is what you wanted to be when you were a kid. But the aspect of not being afraid to fail, I think, gets overlooked because you've got to put yourself in the situation to be successful or fail in the first place and embrace it.
The people that have failed are the ones that aren't afraid to fail again.
Right.
And that's typically how it happens. I look at Ray Lewis. You talk about leaders. I played against Ray for 5 years in the NFL. And he was a leader. He was the one with the big voice. He was the one with the Christian, the gospel background, and that's why he implemented and infused that. But Ray, you coming out of Miami, he had stories about failure and ways in which he failed and how he almost didn't make it to Miami and then almost didn't make it out of the U, and you make it to Baltimore. The rest is history. But you gotta you can't be afraid to fail. But most of those guys, they failed already, and that's where it starts. 2 different type of leaders, but it still works the same. Ray Lewis is one way. Jalen Hurts is another way. Both of them leaders, both of them Super Bowl champs. Jalen more quiet, does it his way, he leads. Ray Lewis, he's going to be in your face. He's going to get the most out of you. He's going to get the chill type of speeches. But he also is a leader. You can lead multiple ways.
Yeah, this is a good one from What Up Doe with Detroit Gunny.
What Up Doe? He
said, did you see how despondent Graham Glasgow was coming off the field after the loss to the Commanders? He apologized to Goff. That speaks volumes of Goff's leadership. I think it also says something about Graham Glasgow, too. Because it's not easy to say I was wrong, I'm sorry, or things like that in life, I think. Somebody else had sent something into us during the chat, and we always welcome the chat. They felt like Jaden Daniels got a little fortunate against Detroit. I didn't look at it like that. I mean, he played Tampa the week before and won through for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. Earlier in the season against Chicago, threw for 326. I'm not going to go so far and take – when you accomplish what that young man accomplished, and I loved him coming out of LSU. I did. In fact, we did a mock draft, and – I took Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. People thought I was crazy.
Smart man.
Well, not necessarily. It's 1 year. We'll see what happens. And now that, Jesus Christ is in Chicago calling the plays, it'll be totally different. But I'm not in the habit of taking accomplishments away from people. I just don't think it's fair. We can use excuses for everything, all right? But there's no excuse. I mean, Jaden Daniels was the real deal last year.
Here, do this for me. We're going to do this. First show out the gate, the Braylon Edwards show, we're going to do this first show out the gate. This is a fresh start for all you Lions fans. When it doesn't go the Lions' way, don't talk about the players that beat the Lions, because you may not be true. I understand your pitch. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, they beat the Lions. The Lions get a chance to go to the NFC Championship. I get all that. Jaden Daniels earned what he did last year. Jaden Daniels had 6 wins when the team was down with less than 3 minutes in the game.
Right.
You just don't do that as a first-year quarterback. So if you get mad that he's top 5 on the list, I can understand that. Maybe you want him to have a couple years. But sometimes you see what you see, and you mix it with the fact that Cliff Kingsbury is his offensive coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury could have coached Caleb Williams. Cliff Kingsbury did coach Caleb Williams the year before he got drafted. He made a conscientious decision to go join the sideboard in Washington. He thought that was the better quarterback for his system, and I think it works. I think Jaden Daniels didn't get lucky. I think Jaden Daniels is that good. I think the Lions, they weren't ready for him to be that good. A lot of injuries, you can get to all the other stuff. But Jaden Daniels is going to be damn good in this league, and it's also because of who he's aligned with. It's like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has been aligned with one of the greatest offensive thinkers of all time, and hence to a lot of his success. Well, Jaden Daniels has somebody that is very, very talented when it comes to the thought process of calling plays.
And before you want to start discrediting because they had comeback wins, let's just remind people this. Tom Brady had 46 in his career.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning had 43 in his career. Ben Roethlisberger had 41 in his career. Sometimes it does require you to stage a comeback in order to win. You're not going to win wire to wire every week.
What pick was Jaden Daniels last year in the draft?
2.
He was 2, yeah.
It was 3. No, it was 2. That means his team was sorry the
That's
year
right.
before.
That's right.
So he did that with a team that picked second.
Not bad. You'll take it. And we'll take Les Stanford, Buick, and GMC. Great offers for everybody. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special at $599 a month plus tax, or try out the 2025 Hummer EV SUV lease special at $699 as well. Don't forget about the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation lease special for only $169 a month. That's Les Stanford, Buick, and GMC. Les Stanford, Buick, GMC. For all their lease specials, go to their website, lesstanford.com. Now this from Planet Fitness.
Get your fitness on this summer at Planet Fitness. The high school summer pass program allows teenagers, like I told you earlier, 14 and 19, to work out for free. What's better than free? The answer is nothing. From June 1st to August 31st, that is the plan for you. Mental health is just as important as physical health. So we want you to get out of the house, get you out of the video games and all the gaming and the programming and the dialing into the screens. We want to get you in the gym. We want to let you have some fun where they're not judging you because it's home of the judgment-free zone. Now, for all you individuals that aren't 14 and 19, it's business as usual, but they have that fitness that fits into your budget. So come on down, get in shape, feel great, look good, all the things. But you got to do it at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Let me tell you about Feldman Automotive. Feldman Chevrolet is the #1 Chevy dealer in Michigan. They have 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. They have great specials this month. The 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew for lease at $189 per month plus tax, and the 2026 Equinox LT FWD lease for $209 per month plus tax. And multiple employees here at WSN have gotten their cars at Feldman, and they have had very, very easy experiences. So go get yourself a car at Feldman. And let me tell you about merch. We have the best Detroit wearables in the Detroit sports game. And when you're tired of looking for merch, this is the new era. We have new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at www.woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click on the shop tab.
Man, wig you up over there.
Sometimes I laugh a little bit. I try to keep. I try to keep it in perspective.
Okay.
When somebody in the chat says, "I don't think Jaden Daniels is all that," I would like to know what it requires for you to believe in somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, not being a smart ass here. I'm just asking. Okay.
That's fair.
So rookie of the year doesn't work.
Okay.
Doesn't work that you're second in the division. Doesn't work that you took over a crap team. Doesn't work that you're rookie of the year and you get to the NFC Championship game as a rookie. What is it you need convincing of?
I don't even think people need convincing. I think what happens, Shep, is people try to be the smart one in the room, and they look at the quarterback slump. They look at the second year. A lot of quarterbacks, for whatever reason, a lot of quarterbacks, the majority of these first-round quarterbacks, they have that slump. You look at Jordan Love. Now, his injury, his reason, although it wasn't his second year, it was his second year starting, he had an injury. You know, you look at something like that. That's an injury. You look at C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's team fell apart. I mean, how many receivers tore ACLs or got shot or got missed, or running backs broken ankles, and you still see it towards the end.
Got shot or whatever.
But it's the truth.
We just got almost like it's a pulled hammy.
100%. And then you ignore that information as opposed to saying, all right, well, look, you know, this happened for this player. He lost some of his weapons due to It's just like, it's just another second-year quarterback. It's another slump. So I think this is someone trying to get ahead of the curve and say, I don't think he's all that, hoping that he falls off the cliff.
It's a person that's pretty tough to impress. I would think they're a former NFL quarterback. I say this all the time. When you're playing, if you're playing golf,
former middle school quarterback, probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But if you're playing golf with pro, they've seen some of the best shots you've ever seen. Right? Yeah. They've hit some of the best shots you've ever seen. Really hard to impress them. Playing with a guy playing football, you and I throw catch to Braylon Edwards. You think he's catching it and going, hey, holy crap, nice job, nice arm.
Right.
No, he's seen. That's not the way it works. So maybe this person was a former NFL quarterback. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. We do have a question out there, a bit of a poll question. Drop a like for the Tigers. Best team in baseball. Yes, go Tigers, or no, I'm a Yankees fan.
What?
I don't get that question. First of all, it's emotion as much as anything else. Yes, go Tigers. Everybody's going to yes, go Tigers.
Yeah.
The Yankees have not been that good. All right?
Who cares about
now,
didn't they lose 6 in a row?
They lost 7 in a row.
Excuse me, 7
okay?
in a row.
And were swept by Boston at one point. And Boston was, to a certain extent, scuffling. And lost to the Mets. Mets swept them in the Subway Series. Just ask your brother-in-law, who we talked last night about that, because he had those shorts on.
He did.
I don't know if you take maybe it's more like the Tigers or the rest of the league. Would you take the Tigers or the rest of Major League Baseball? Because that includes the Dodgers, who are damn good. The Phillies are damn good. The Astros are damn good. The Blue Jays are playing really good ball. Houston's a tough team.
Yeah.
Be careful. There were people in this town when Detroit beat Houston, people actually said, Houston's garbage. It doesn't mean anything to me. How do you feel now?
Yeah.
Not so smart.
This is true. They came on strong, man. They started terrible, but they find a way. They always typically find a way. It's more than just who's the skipper there. It's that talent.
And doing it without Jeremy Pena, by the way.
100%. 100%. I think a lot of people that ask that question or pose that question, they're caught up in the name still.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
You're
still
right.
the naming rights. Oh, yeah, they got 4 All-Stars, but out of that, it's really just Tarek, Scooby, blah. No, we got 4 All-Stars because we have 4 All-Stars. They're legitimate All-Stars. It's not about the names. It's about everything around it. Now, if you don't think they're the best team and they're 3rd or 4th, fine. I think currently the Tigers are the 2nd best team in baseball, and I think the Dodgers are 1. It is what it is. The Dodgers have the star power, and you got Shohei on the mound pitching. If you give me money, who's going to win right now?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Dodgers. As it relates to that, I'm taking the Tigers over everybody else for all the reasons that we named. Not only the team, not only what the team is becoming, it's with this coaching staff, the assistant coaching staff, and it's the energy. I believe in what the Tigers built last year in that playoff run. That was a hell of a run. I mean, they were a nickel throw away from accomplishing more than that, and they've continued that energy, like I've said.
So you believe in carryover?
I
don't believe that you had a good year last year, so you're going to have a good year next year.
I don't believe in it essentially, but hindsight is 20/20. And looking at it from this view, I believe in carryover because they finished the way they finished. They almost let's just not use the word almost. They won a playoff series.
Yep.
And then they came into this year, and they're the number 1 team in baseball statistically. Yeah. So I believe in carryover in that sense.
Yeah, I hear that. Last year's carryover was without Spencer Torkelson. Zach McKinstry hit 214. There were some guys.
Javi Baez was not this.
Javier Baez.
He wasn't even there in the playoffs.
Great point. Nor Casey Mize was not there in the playoffs. The bullpen is different. Gleyber Torres is new.
Flaherty's back.
All those things. Really good point by that. So that's why I don't necessarily believe in the carryover. If you want to, if I can take a carryover from series to series this year, yes. Season to season is really hard for me. Do you believe that football is the same way? Because the Lions, you could make the argument, the springboard to their 15-2 campaign maybe was started by the loss in the NFC Championship game, learning from one another. Do you believe that's possible?
I do. I definitely do. And I think in this sense, 15-2, you lose in the second round, essentially your first round. But now all those guys that were injured are now essentially coming back as brand new players. So the carryover I believe in that is you got a lot of guys on this team that have now been here through the start to where this thing is. And you got a lot of guys that didn't play on this team last year due to injuries that are playing this year. I believe in that momentum carryover.
Any more from the Super Chat before we roll on out of here on a Monday afternoon?
Yes, we have multiple super chats. You guys are extremely popular. But first, we got to check in with Byrne on his bench. $5 super chat. Got into work recently building a simple one to give to my aunt, a dark walnut stain, practicing for the Lions and U of M ones. They only cost $15 to make.
Wow. That's surprising.
It's a good guy right there, man. He's building it for his aunt, man. Shout out to
Got to have a guy like that.
Shout out to you, man. It's a cool nephew.
All
nephew.
And shout out to, I believe this is your sister, just checking in, Fam Bam. Congrats, Bray. I'm super proud of you, my guy. Welcome, Shep. Looking forward to getting to know you and your sports views.
Family always supporting, man.
She welcomed us last night, and it was a beautiful thing. It was great company, great food. Just the best people you could possibly be around. Our thanks to Ricky and Justin.
One more super chat. My bad. I'm sorry.
Well,
Rando
hold
Smalls.
on a second. Okay, if you're gonna be like my wife all the time and add on, you got to get to it right away, because then we start one momentum. Now we got to slam on the brakes, and we got to take a strong right
now
turn.
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, well, I'll take that right turn. Rando Smalls, appreciate you, my man. $5 super chat. Braze Daniels deserves it, but this year Hutch will be chasing him.
We can only hope.
You have no
All
problem
right,
on me on that.
we're back with you tomorrow, 2 o'clock here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody, and thanks for watching.